We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim, and we have a special guest today. We have Houston's finest in the house, LJ from H-Town. How you doing this morning?
Doing great, sir. Thanks for inviting me on. Glad to be on with Earle Sports Bet Show. Looking to make some money in this NFL, and let's go.
Yeah, we got NFL Week 8. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we're going to take a look back at what happened yesterday. What went right, what went wrong in the world of sports betting. This is how we promote transparency on this show as we go over what we had yesterday. For me, it ended my 6-day profitable streak in a pretty bad way. I think I was down around 5.5, 6 units, something along those lines. College football kicked the crap out of me. I'm not going to go over every single game. All I know is I finished 8-13, down about 5.8 units in college football yesterday. Was not great. NHL finished 3-4, down 0.88 units. I had the Panthers puck line, which came through, lost on the Lightning puck line. That Montreal-St. Louis over was the easiest thing in the world as it went over in the second period and finished 6-4. Flyers had a 3-2 lead with a couple minutes to go in regulation, lost in overtime as a plus 151 dog. Chicago Buffalo did go over the total, which was nice. Buffalo came back, tied it, and won it overtime to cash that. And then two losers to end the night after a 3-2 start. Washington Nashville over. That game finished 3-0. And Pittsburgh Seattle over. That game finished 3-1. Pittsburgh on the road, especially road back-to-backs. Those are straight fade material I've learned because this Pittsburgh team, I was not high on them coming into the year. That was the first time I bet on them yesterday. And this team, when the situation's not absolutely perfect for them, is going to struggle. In the NBA, I split. I had the Hornets plus 10. I got 234.5 for the over in the Indiana-Brooklyn game. That was good. Atlanta-Milwaukee had the under. That was looking good in the first half, and then the third quarter absolutely exploded with points, which is just terrible. And the Grizzlies lost by 1 point, so I lost the money line there. In baseball, I totally did not fade LJ's Astros in the first 5 innings yesterday. Like I've been betting the Phillies at first 5 every single game. And they just couldn't mount the comeback this time. So Phillies first 5 was a loser. Overall yesterday was, I think, down around 6.5 units for me. So looking to restart the winning streak today. Not a good day yesterday. What about you, Tim?
All I will say is on the site we were down 0.79 units. So barely missed a profitable day. The only thing I could say that I'm happy about is we hit the last play of the night. If you have not bet a Hawaii game at midnight, I don't think you're a true gambler. Because there's nothing more degenerate than going and betting the midnight game just because. No, I had the under in that game. It worked out. I had under 48, and it finished 27-20.
There you go.
So, there you go. It worked out nicely. But for NBA, I went 1-3, and Milwaukee was the only one that helped me out. Chicago choked late, and Memphis. Memphis. I had Memphis twice because I had a minus 5.5, and then I rebet them because it went all the way down to 2. So double loser there, but it happens. Slightly losing day, nothing crazy.
LJ, how'd you do yesterday?
Oh, man, you know how I did. Astros cashed me in yesterday, man. I took the run line, team total. Only thing I'm mad about, I didn't take Valdez strikeout prop. That's the only thing, because I actually forgot about it, that he's had 6 over his last 12 starts, 13 starts, something like that. So other than that, I was good on the Astros. I took Dallas, first half. I think they barely hit that, I believe. I don't know if they covered it. But, that's pretty much the only NBA bet I bet yesterday because I was fully invested in the Astros because coming off a loss, I've been waiting for them to lose because I love taking teams that are good off a loss. And I've been telling people, I'm just waiting for the Astros to lose so I can put a lot of money on them. And it came through yesterday. So very happy today. Very happy.
There you go. Awesome. Then we're going to get into today's slate for today. We do have a game going on right now. Broncos are down 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. LJ, you have any action on the first game here?
Yeah, I took the under 41.5, considering the Broncos are dead last in scoring. The Jaguars, they allow only 19 points a game. So I'm thinking it's going to be an under, even if they score a couple of touchdowns. I don't think they'll cover that 41.5. So that's pretty much the safest bet I took. Both these teams are really putrid offensive wise, as far as my concern. So I think that was a safer bet. Take them.
Yeah, I feel like the safer bet for me would have been just taking the Jaguars team total under rather than the Broncos money line, because I like pain, so I bet the Broncos again because my numbers saw there was a little bit of value with them. We'll see. It's only the end of the first quarter, but not looking good to start here. And yes, they are right now. Yes, Mo. But we'll get into today's card. We're gonna kick it on off here with the Dallas Cowboys. They're hosting the Chicago Bears in this one here. Cowboys -10 with a total of 42.5. Let me get up my numbers for this. My projected line for this game is Dallas -11. So I see about a point of value here with the Cowboys. Let's get up the ticket numbers here for these games. So I can look over how the market's moved in this one. I'm seeing 62% of the tickets, 56% of the cash is on the Cowboys. The lines moved from 9.5 to 10. 43% of the ticket, or my bad, the 43. That's the total. 53% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on the over. But yet this line's moved from 43 down to 42.5. So money coming in on the over. The line moving down towards the under, which is kind of interesting to see there. For me, looking at this spot, I'm leaning towards the Cowboys. I believe we have the Cowboys as a circa pick because I think this is like our fifth one that we picked. It wasn't my most confident play, but we had to find a fifth play, and I think we landed on this one. I feel like an interesting look for this game because Dallas's defense is one of the better ones in the league, and the Bears we know can struggle offensively. I mean, last week they looked really good. Their team total is a 16 in this game. I was hoping that would be a 17 so I could take that under. I'm looking at the Bears team total under at 16 at the moment. Don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but that's where I'm leaning in this game. We'll go to LJ next for this one. I know you're a big prop guy. You're going to give us an alternative perspective because Tim and I usually look at games, like the full games, the money lines, the spreads, and the totals. You are more of a player prop guy. You got anything in this game?
Yeah, I did put the prop up there for y'all. But as far as the game, the Cowboys are number one in touchdowns allowed, so I don't expect the Bears to put up a lot of points. I like your team total. I wish it was at 17 because I got 16 too. So yeah. I'm not really confident in that one. Justin Fields, rush prop. I was looking at that. He's hit this prop, I think, 5 out of the 7 games he's played. But Dallas defense is pretty strong. So I'm pretty sure they probably will have a spy on him to limit his rush attempts to where they won't be effective in that way. So I'm just going to stay away from the side. I'm just going to take the prop. I'm going to take Chicago Bears field goal kicker, Sario Sanchez over 1.5 field goals because I think that's the only way they probably will be able to put up points in this game is field goal kicking if they can get down to the Dallas side of the field. So that's my safer bet.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the Bears don't, after last week, learn what offense is and they continue this because I would prefer them not doing that. So, yeah. Tim, what's your thoughts on this game?
This is the perfect sell high spot on the Bears because we look at what everybody just saw, especially a team coming off of a Monday night game. The Bears blew out the Patriots. Obviously, I don't think the Patriots are good. They're a mess. But the fact that the Bears went in there and did what they did, I believe this was they went into New England and beat them 33-14. That's an impressive win. This is a perfect sell high spot on them. The Cowboys aren't going to allow much. This is going to be a typical Bears game that we come to know and love, where they struggle to score offensively. This is not going to be a Justin Fields go crazy game. I like the Dallas Cowboys. We have them as one of our circa plays. So it was one of the ones that we kind of both will look towards. I like the Cowboys.
All right.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. Good morning, all. What an amazing, because he's a Michigan fan, blue and maize. Morning, y'all. Ride the Rams today. No.
One thing I will say is Michigan State plus 23 winner. So I made money fading your Michigan there, even though they didn't win outright. I still made money on that game. And yes, the Rams today. I like the Rams today.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah. Okay,
yes,
never mind then.
I do. We'll move on here. This next matchup here, Las Vegas is at New Orleans in this one. Vegas -1 in this game with a total of 48.5 in this game. My line for this game is Vegas -3.5 on the road. So I do have a little bit of a discrepancy in this line. I'm seeing 69% of the tickets and 60% of the cash is on the Raiders. And this line's moved from a pick'em to a -1. 77% of the tickets, 66% of the cash is on the over. This line has jumped. It opened up around a 44. It's up to a 48.5 in this game. For me in this spot, I end up siding with the Raiders at -125 here. And even though I do have futures on the Saints team to win the division, which isn't dead, which we'll get it. We'll get into next game, which is a stupid concept of what's going on in the next game we'll talk about with another AFC South matchup. But for me in this game, I just think Vegas is the better overall team at the moment, especially if we're still going to get the Red Rocket for the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to side with the Raiders here, laying a short price, -125 on the money line on the road here. We'll go to Tim first in this one. What's your thoughts on this game?
I don't like this one at all. These are two teams that are not particularly good. And it's not like you get value on either side because there's plus points on one side. It's a pick 'em. If there was some plus points on one side and it would actually be like three points or something, I would look towards it. At a pick 'em, this is a coin flip game and I want nothing to do with it. Maybe I'll lean towards the over. But I don't want to go after this one. This one was one of the games that I kind of looked at, went nope, and moved on.
Yep. Little update there in London. Trevor Lawrence to a pass to Simmons for an interception touchback. The Broncos will have the ball at the 20.
There you go.
LJ, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I agree, man. There's no pretty much value. It's probably a pick on both these teams, or defense is not that great. Raiders allowing 24 points in the last 3 games. The Saints are allowing 34 points in the last 3 games. So I may take the over 48.5. I'm looking at points. The Saints are -10 turnover margin. So, they could turn the ball over anytime, considering the quarterbacks that they have, because both of them can turn the ball over. So I'm not going to pick a side. I'm staying away from that. But I may get to the window on the over 48.5, considering how many points the defense gives up.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at it, I mean, it's a 24.5 team total for the Raiders. It's a 23.5 for the Saints. And the beautiful thing about that Raiders team total, and that counts when Andy Dalton's going to throw a touchdown to the Raiders today as well, because he threw 2 to the Cardinals in his last game. So he's always potential for a pick 6 as well. So definitely we could see some defensive touchdowns. I'm not much of an over better in the NFL. I usually look towards unders, as you guys will probably be able to tell with my card. But yeah, this is probably one where I would have to lean towards an over. But we'll move on to the chat here. Yeah, Denver money line. I mean, yeah, it's never going to be easy with the Broncos. You expect this to be easy?
Broncos country. We tried. Sorry. Man, I'm nervous about Green Bay because I took the Bulls plus 11.5.
The Bills?
Bills. That would make sense. Is that a Brett Favre jersey? Yes, it is.
It is. Yes, it is.
There you go. Falcons covering 4 today. That is a perfect segment because that's the next game.
Yeah, this is a weird game. We have the Falcons -4 with a total of 41. We have the Panthers and the Falcons. The winner is going to be the leader of the NFC South. How the hell does that make any sense? And the crazy thing is, with a Panthers loss, they're in possession of the first overall pick. That's how bad this division is right now. Like, that's pretty bad. Let's take a look at my projected lines for this game and where the money's coming in. I had this game at a 2. So I have a 2-point lean towards the Carolina Panthers in this game. And the Panthers actually have a decent defense. I believe that's one thing that this Panthers team actually halfway does well is defensively they're a competent football team. They're 17th in points allowed. So actually, they're about middle of the pack here. But they're able to limit their opponents a little bit, and I could see them being able to do that with Mariota and the Falcons here. Let's take a look at where the money's coming in on this game. 63% of the tickets are on the Falcons, but 52% of the cash is on the Panthers in this game. 71% of the tickets are on the over. 62% of the cash is on the over. It's gone from, I believe, 41 and a half down to 41 up to it's been bouncing between those two numbers. For me, I'm going to be on the divisional unders. They're 25-10 to start the year, 71.4%. I'm also looking a little bit at either the Panthers plus the points or the Falcons team total under as a potential look as well. This Panthers team defensively, I think, is slow down Atlanta, and I get it. Atlanta's been better this year, but there's no way in hell I'm laying 4 points with them here. Their team total is at 23. I can see them only putting up 20 in this game. So I lean towards the team total under 20 with the Falcons, but I'm on the full game under 41 in this one. LJ, what's your thoughts?
I'm not taking a side. I can't trust any of these quarterbacks. I'm not a fan of Mariota, and I don't even know who Carolina's quarterback is.
PJ Walker.
Okay, yeah, I don't know who that is. But
XFL guy.
for the Houston Roughnecks, I believe it was.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, maybe he's okay, but I'm going to stay off of it. But I am going to take a prop in this game. I'm going to take Mariota over 33.5 rush yards. He's averaging 47 in the last 3 games. But the reason why I'm going to stay off the side, because Atlanta is bottom 5, 7 out of 13 offensive categories. So I don't trust them to put up anything that's serviceable enough to compete with Carolina. And Carolina does have a sneaky defense, so they could probably cause some turnovers and take this game. It is a divisional game, so these teams pretty much know each other. So I'm not mad at your division under. I would probably lean that way as well, but I'm definitely going to take the Mariota prop over 33.
It's 33.5, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, 33.5 rush yards.
Yeah, I put that in the scroller as well. Oh, you're typing them into the private chat too. I totally missed that there.
Nick, he's only doing what you asked him to do, and then I
forgot that I didn't see the number 1 until after I typed it in already. But yeah, we're good there. Tim, did you touch on this game yet?
No. It's not that Carolina. It was a certain events that Carolina could be either the division leader or the number 1 overall pick. That would still require Detroit to win and Houston to win today, I believe, in order for that to happen.
Right?
Because I remember the post. It said with certain events, if Carolina wins this game, they'll be first place in the division.
That's stupid.
Mind-boggling. Anyways, I'm gonna agree with your under. I leaned towards the Falcons because I feel like this is a good sell high spot once again on the Panthers, who just won last week as 13-point favorite dogs outright by 18. So this would be a good sell high spot for the Panthers, but I'm just gonna stick with the under and move on. I don't need to go after it.
Yep. And it's a big rush for the Jaguars. They're down at the 25. Wonderful.
I hate -4 lines. I don't mind -4 lines. It's the 5.5 that are tricky.
Yeah.
Cardinals +4. Yes, I like the Cardinals today, but we'll talk about them later. Have not seen a single person on Minnesota. Just bet 4K Minnesota -3. You have fun.
Yeesh. Okay. Good luck.
Jets money line, yes. Giants, yes. Bills, no.
Yes.
Bills. Bills actually.
No Bills.
I didn't bet that game. Chubb to Raider Nation. No.
I don't see them trading in division.
5.5 is a dog line all day. Yes,
there is no 5.5 this week though. There is one next week, I believe.
At the moment, we'll move on. And this, I don't know if this game can even be close.
I think it could be. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at the Philadelphia Eagles here. The Eagles are 10.5 point home favorites. Total of 43 in this game. Let's take a look. My number for this one's 8.5. So I'm seeing 2 points of value towards the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. 75% of the tickets and 78% of the cash is on the Eagles. So a decent chunk of money is on the Eagles. 69% of the tickets and 66% of the cash is on the over. And the line's actually dropped from 44 to 42.5. So that's kind of interesting. It's 43 in some spots. So the lines come down, even though money's coming in on the over in this game. I could see this being a little bit of a lower scoring game where defenses show up. And usually I'm leaning Steelers in this game. So I think a way I can approach it that way, I haven't bet this game at all. I'm looking to potentially bet it. It would be either just taking the 10.5 points with the Steelers or potentially just trying to combine my two looks here with the under and with the Steelers. And you're probably going to get you're getting a decent price here at that. You can get 27.5 on the Eagles team total. I might look to take that under because I can see the Steelers, like we saw last week, make adjustments at halftime and be able to shut them down in the second half. We know the Eagles are a team that doesn't really play in the second half. All their performances are in the first half of games. So maybe this is a spot where you stay off at pregame and you look to live bet the Steelers at halftime as a decent idea. That may be something I look to do if I can get maybe like 13.5, 14 points with the Steelers at halftime. Could definitely be an interesting look. But for me, this is a pass right now. I lean towards the Steelers taking the points, and I lean towards the team total under 27.5 with the Eagles. What's your thoughts on this, LJ?
I'm on the Eagles first half, -6.5. They're the best first half team in the league. They're averaging 21 points in the first half. The Steelers are allowing 16.5 points in the first half. So I believe that I can catch that in the first half and get out because the Eagles tend to digress in the second half. So the Steelers could backdoor and cover this 10.5. I would not be surprised if they do this. So I'm going to just get in and get out, take the first half points with the Eagles and just ride that out. And I'm also going to take Jalen Hurts over 48.5 rush yards because he's hit this prop, I think, every game except once, I believe, but that's just off the top of my head. He scrambles out the pocket. He likes to, extend plays, get first downs and things like that. So I do believe that prop will hit as well. The Steelers are bottom 5 in 6 out of 13 offensive categories. So I just trust that the Eagles will handle business and win the game, but they're much of a stronger team in the first half. So I'm going to just trust the first half number. 6.5.
And you said 42.5 is the line for Hurts?
48.5 rush yards.
48.5. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah. Hasn't the Eagles covered every single first half so far this year?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they're 6-0 ATS first half, and they're 4-2 full game. So they've blown a couple covers later in the second half this season. So I think that's definitely a potential look as well for this game. Tim, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, they blew their covers against Detroit week 1 and then the Cardinals week 5. So there you go. If I'm going after anything in this game, it's the under. Just because you still got Kenny Pickett. Sure, he's played 3.5 games. I'm still not. You're going up against one of the best defenses in football, at least a top 5 defense in Philly. He's already had to go up against Buffalo's defense, and he got destroyed. He got to go up against Tampa Bay, and he kept that one close. He won that game outright. But and then against Miami, where they had plenty of chances to be right in that one. I don't know. This one just seems like a blowout game. I don't really see Pittsburgh coming close in this game. I could see this one easily being 24-3, 24-6, something in that range. I would lean towards an under if I'm going after anything in this game, but I'm probably just going to leave it alone.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a blowout. These are still 2 professional teams, and we saw last week the Steelers can make adjustments at halftime defensively.
Yeah, but I was against Miami. That's a different story.
Miami they looked like it was going to be a long night for the Steelers.
Nah. We get a yo from Mr. Joe. Yep, good play, LJ. Get it. First half. There you go. A.J. Brown receiving yards. That's Tennessee, right?
No, he's
yes.
with,
no,
he's with Eagles now.
Oh, he's Eagles. He was Tennessee last year. Yeah, shows how much I remember. Yeah, go ahead. Have fun. Also got the under 44.5 earlier in the week. It's down to a 43. So there you go. I'm not betting it now. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. I hope not.
I can only imagine that's juiced.
It's got to be juiced, especially with Tannehill out. But Houston wins outright. Anyways, we'll go on to this game, Nick.
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins they're at the Detroit Lions in this game. Total are 3.5 favorites are the Dolphins, a total of 51.5 in this game. My number was Miami -5, so it's a slight lean towards the Dolphins on the spread here for me. We have 71% of the tickets, 65% of the cash is on the Dolphins in this game. It's gone from 3 to 3.5, 76% of the tickets and 77% of the cash is on the over. This line opened up at 49.5 or 49. It's gone up to 52. It's gone up to 51.5, 52 in some spots. And this is one of those plays for me where, for me, I've noticed a lot of my NFL betting the last few weeks have been just like little systems and trends I've found. And there's 3 different trends I use for betting unders. Number 1, everybody knows it's primetime games. Number 2, it's divisional games. Number 3 is when the total is 50 or higher. When the total is 50 and higher, it's 9-4 to the under this year. So usually when because scoring is down all across the NFL this year, is one thing we've noticed. And this is a high total, 51.5 on an NFL game these days. When you're hitting that 50 number, those are some high totals. And I look to bet those games under. And I know this could be a scary one because the Lions are getting Amara St. Brown back. They're getting DeAndre Swift back. And this Miami offense could be electric at times. I'm going to take the under 51.5. I personally got it at 51, unfortunately. But I'm taking the under in this game just because it follows my trends of when a total is 50 or higher. You just take the under because those totals are usually a bit too high. So I'm on the under 51 in this game with a lean towards laying it with Miami. We'll go Tim here first. What's your thoughts on this game?
I might end up doing a cross-sport parlay with both Detroit teams on the money line. I like Detroit in this one. I'm also not super high on Miami. I still think that, I mean, they start off 3-0, and then I feel like the 4 through 6 games were more accurate of what the Dolphins are going to end up finishing this year. They're 4-3 now, 3-4 against the spread. Detroit's look bad, correct. They're 1-5. They'll cover you spreads that they've covered in half their games, even though they've only won 1. And now if you look at the Detroit Lions and what they've done the past couple of weeks, they've scored 6 points in their last 2 games combined. So no, it's not going to be a pretty play, but I do like the Lions getting their players back. I think it's going to be a big deal getting their DeAndre Swift and St. Brown. I think it's going to be a big impact. I like the Lions. I'll grab their points, sprinkle the money line. LJ, what's your thoughts on this one?
I'm gonna stay away, man. I can't trust Detroit. You know, I like that they're getting their players back. They're 2 most offensive players, but I gotta see them a game. You know, let them get a game under them to see, you know, how they perform. Because who's to say they might go out this game? You know, that's just how things work. You know, they may not be 100%. They take a good hit, they may be out the game, and that just changes the whole game plan. So, Detroit's bottom 5, 8 out of 13 offensive categories, man. They're allowing 123 yards to the running back, you know, the last 4 games, which brings me to my prop. I'm going to take Mostert. I don't know how to pronounce his name, the running back for the Dolphins. Mostert, yes. I'm going to take him over 70.5 rush yards because he's averaging 77 yards the last 4 games. So the Lions give up a lot of rush yards, so I do believe he will be able to hit that prop. And, of course, Jared Goff is 0-2 versus Miami in his career. So I'm going to stay off of that. You know, I have to see him perform, even though he does perform well at home, you know. So, but I just have to see it for my own eyes to trust that Detroit can bounce back. You know, they give up a lot of points, but I don't think Miami and Tua will be able to put up a lot of points. You know, they're much more of a dink and dunk type of offense and let the receivers get a lot of yak yards. You know, that's pretty much what they do. So I'm just going to stay off the total, stay off the team, but I'm definitely on Mercer's prop, 70.5 rush yards.
Yeah, I like these prop looks that you're giving to this show because that's something that doesn't get much love for on the ESB channel as much as I thought it would heading into me betting sports betting because Tim and I started with playing DraftKings DFS. So I'm surprised surprised player props haven't made much more of an impact on ESB yet. So I do like these prop looks that you have.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Nick, let's keep on rolling through.
Yeah, we have the Arizona Cardinals. They are at the Minnesota Vikings in this one here. The Vikings are 3.5-point home favorites. Total 48.5 in this game. Let's take a look at my numbers for this one. I have this at a 3, so I have this about right, the side in this game. And when it comes to where the money is coming in on this game, 58% of the tickets, 54% of the cash, it's on the Cardinals. And this line has gone from 6, opened up around 6.5 for the Vikings, and immediately dropped down to around 4, 3.5 in some spots. 85% of the tickets, 70% of the cash is on the over, and 47.5 to 48.5 is where the total is gone. This is one I don't have too much interest in. It's a half-point lean towards the Arizona Cardinals at the 3.5 line. I feel like if you wanted to bet the Cardinals, you've missed your line. You could have gotten it much better earlier in the week. So for me, this one's a layoff for me. Maybe a lead towards an over in this game because we know both these offenses can put up some points, but not enough for me to go after it. So I'm taking the pass route for this game. LJ, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna pick on the Cardinals first half again, bro. It's just a trend that I just cannot seem to ignore. They're 1-6 in the first half, so I'm gonna take the Vikings first half minus the 3, I believe so. On my book, let me see. Yeah, I got -3 for the Vikings first half. They're 5-1 in the first half, and they tend to give up spreads at the end of the game as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals cover this game because they are 15-3 and 2 ATS under Cliff Kingsbury, and they're also covered 8 straight road underdog victories. 8 straight. So, and Kirk Cousins is 2-5 ATS off a bye. So all that correlates to the Cardinals potentially covering this game, possibly winning outright. But they are a horrible first half team. Even though DeAndre Hopkins is back in that lineup, I believe that will give Kyler Murray extra incentive, because there are different offense with him in the lineup. I agree with that. And they may be a bet on team later on in the season once he gets his reps and things like that. But as of right now, only second game back, they caught the Saints on a short week, and the Saints really, I think the Vikings are better than the Saints, offensive wise. So I don't believe that the Cardinals will come out and just be a different team all of a sudden in 1 week to compete with the Vikings in the first half, considering the numbers that they put up. So I'm going to take the Vikings first half -3. Now, the Cardinals can win this game if they can make the Vikings turn the ball over, because those games that they have won, they're 10-2 in their last 12 road games. The Cardinals are. They caused 26 turnovers in those games. That is the key to them winning this game. But the Vikings have only committed a total of 3 turnovers in their last 4 games. So that's the recipe for the Cardinals. If they can get the Vikings to turn that ball over, especially in that second half, they may have a chance to win this game. But I'm not going to trust it. I'm just going to stick to my trend. First half, Vikings -3.
Yeah, this sounds like another potential spot where, just like that Philly Pittsburgh game, where you can look to take the dog in the second half, getting more points. You may be able to get a full touchdown with the Cardinals at halftime potentially. So I think that's a decent look as well. Tim, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I like the Cardinals. I liked them before DeAndre Hopkins got back, and yeah, I know it's a short week and all, but that offense looks totally different with him in. Kyler Murray actually has a weapon. And then also getting Robbie Anderson helps a lot too. So I feel like this is a different Arizona team. I mentioned in the beginning of the year, if I was taking a shot at the division, I said Arizona. I do like Arizona to possibly come out of the West. And this West is still wide open considering who's the division leader at the moment. Oh, that would be the Seahawks.
Who had the Seahawks leading the division and potentially the Panthers leading the division after this week? Put your freaking hand down.
But no, I do like the Niners in this matchup. Sorry, not the Niners. I was just staring at the standings. Cardinals in this matchup. I'm not super high on this Minnesota team. I know They are 5-1, one of the top teams in the league. They're 2-4 in my eyes because they don't cover spreads. They covered against Miami with a second string quarterback their last game, and then they covered week 1. Other than that, lost outright to Philly. Couldn't cover against Detroit. Couldn't cover against New Orleans. Couldn't cover against the Bears. This is not a team that covers. Go ahead, give me the Cardinals.
Yeah. By the way, a touchdown scored by the future New York Giant Jerry Jeudy. It's now 10-7 in that game.
There you go. What's up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button. Show some appreciation. Subscribe and share. Buffalo minus Buffalo trifecta.
No. Packers outright.
Ooh.
We got Nina coming in saying hi. Hi, Nina. I'm riding Justin Jefferson receiving props and Stephon Diggs.
I'm on Diggs.
D-Hop, lean, anytime touchdown or receptions. Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
I don't hate that. We'll go to the marquee matchup of the week, Nick.
Oh. Yeah, totally marquee matchup. New England Patriots are at the New York Jets in this one here. Patriots are 3-point road favorites with a total of 40 in this game. My projected line for this game was New England -2. So there was a little bit of value with New England earlier in the week. Now it's shifted to a point of value with the Jets late in the week. That number does not account for Breece Hall being out, though. And looking at where the money and the tickets are coming on this one, a little bit of a discrepancy here, Tim. 61% of the tickets are on the Jets, but 52% of the cash is on the Patriots. 53% of the tickets are on the under, 82% of the cash is on the under in this one. And this is another divisional under for me here. Under 40, Jets and Patriots. Both these offenses leave a little to be desired. I believe even in last week's win for the Jets, the MILF Hunter did not even have a touchdown pass. And I don't think he cleared 200 passing yards. Zach Wilson's getting all this hype, but he hasn't really done much. I mean, granted, it was against the Broncos, which doesn't give up much, but he was 16 for 26 for 121 yards and no touchdowns. So I get it. We're all hyped on the Jets. Zach Wilson's not that good. I'm sorry, he's just not. And I think that the Patriots can come out here and slow down this Jets offense, because what they're going to do is take away your best weapon. And for the Jets, Breece Hall is gone. They didn't even have to take away their best weapon. Who the hell is their best weapon now? Because this Jets offense, I think, is in a terrible situation, and it's a terrible stylistic matchup going up against the Patriots here. And even though this line has shifted to where I see a point of value with the Patriots, with the Jets, it's Patriots or nothing for me in this game. I'm looking a little bit towards the Jets team total under, but they did a good job of keeping me away from that, because it's a 20 and the under is a -143. So that allowed me to stay off the side in this game. I lean Patriots in this one, but I did bet the under. I got it at 40. So I'm gonna continue to ride with my divisional unders. We'll save the Jets fan for last. LJ, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Under 40. I'm gonna ride the divisional under as well. I lean the Patriots because they got embarrassed on national TV, and I always take that consideration to where if you get embarrassed, I'm always going to take you the next week. But I just don't see anything offensive-wise on the Patriots side that will make me confident enough to take them. And as far as the Jets, too many injuries at the key position. You just mentioned Breece Hall. They got a couple offensive linemen that are out, so I don't know what to expect from this offense. And like you just mentioned, Zach Wilson, he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in 3 straight games, so I don't know what to expect. So I'm just going to stick to the trend that you have, under 40, divisional under.
I'm gonna look up what that prop is for Zach Wilson under a half a touchdown pass or something like that, something along those lines, because he hasn't. You said 3 straight games. I was just looking at last game. I didn't even know this is a 3-game streak.
Yep, 3 games.
You can get these are touchdown, or let me see, passing touchdowns, passing touchdowns. Let's take a look. Nope, they're only allowing me to take like 1+ passing touchdowns. There's not unless. Oh, here we go. Passing touchdowns over under. Jets, Patriots. You can get plus 168. Zach Wilson under half a touchdown pass. Plus 168. I am definitely going to look into that one. I'm not a prop better as much, but that's one I'm definitely interested in. I'm sorry, Tim, but Zach Wilson is not throwing touchdown passes right now. Milf Hunter is just handing the ball off to his running back. So what's your thoughts on this one, Tim? I know Jets money line, Jets whatever.
Okay, easy. I do think the Jets win this game. I will say that. Okay. Hard. The Jets fan likes the Jets to win. Newsflash: the Jets don't win games with their offense. Have you seen what they've done? Have you seen what they've been able to do? On defense. 9 points to the Broncos. Sure, it's the Broncos. 10 points to Green Bay. 17 points to Miami.
With the third string quarterback.
Well, yeah, but that's not the point. When you look at it, the Jets have been able to slow teams down on defense, and I don't know if you missed it, but the Patriots are having problems with their quarterbacks, and the big problem is picking one. They don't have one that they truly like, and when you have two quarterbacks, you've got no quarterbacks. And I think that they're just going to struggle to get anything done. You may see a quarterback swap in the middle of this game. This Jets defense is going to smother them. If they're able to slow down Aaron Rodgers, Mac Jones is not going to be a problem. I would take the under as well. This game's going to end, and I would even look towards first touchdown, no touchdown, because this game could easily end like 12-6. And I think the Jets will. I think take the Jets field goal. I'm going to pull a card from our LJ's deck. Grab both kickers to get their field goal props. And how about some punts? There you go. This one's not going to be a fun game to watch. But as a Jets fan, I'll probably watch it. But I do think the Jets win, but this one's going to be a very, very ugly game.
Yeah, I could definitely see no touchdowns in this game as well. Because, who knows? But yeah, I can definitely see that.
There you go. Tony Pollard over rushing yards at 77.5.
It's not a bad look. I believe Zeke's out today.
Yep.
So that's not a bad look.
Are you telling me it's the Texans money line? That's once again a perfect transition because we'll move right into this game.
Yeah, we have the Tennessee Titans. This line is plummeted actually because because Ryan Tannehill has been ruled out for this game, and it's going to be Malik Willis. The Titans are still minus 115 in this game with a total of 39. This line's also dropped 1.5 points for the total. I have this game, and I'm going to adjust it 3 point. I'm going to say 3 point difference between Tannehill and Willis. I think that's a fair number to drop the power ranking for Tennessee, right? 3 points to go from Tannehill to Willis. I don't think that Tannehill is that great, so I feel like 3 points may be a little much, which means I still have this game at a minus 4.5 for the Tennessee Titans on the road here against Houston. And I'm taking a look at the tickets. They're going to be a little tricky here because of the injury, but 75% of the tickets, 61% of the cash is on the Titans. I don't know where that money was from, whether or not it was before or after or anything like that. So actually, I'm not even going to read the tickets because it feels kind of useless because injuries really mess with ticket numbers. That's one thing I've noticed when there's dramatic line moves because of injuries, you kind of throw the tickets out of the window. I'm going to trust Malik Willis in this game a little bit. And one thing we've noticed that we noticed with him in his Liberty days is this is a mobile quarterback. He's more mobile than Ryan Tannehill. And one thing that the Houston Texans struggle with is stopping the run. We've noticed. And I think that could be a little bit of a problem here when they have a two-headed monster that can run the ball. Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs in football. And then we have Malik Willis, which I think could be a threat on the run. The Houston Texans are dead last in giving up rushing yards, about 165 rushing yards a game. I think Derrick Henry rush props are a great look in this one. And I also love the under in this game. I got it personally at a 40.5 before this line dropped 1.5 when they ruled out Tannehill. So I think this is going to be a ground and pound type of game. I think the Titans are going to have some long, sustained drives. I think the Titans win this game. I personally got the Titans at the lowest of the line. I got them around minus 102 last night. And it's come back up. There's been a little bit of a buyback on the Titans here up to minus 115. I got the Titans at minus 102. I'm sorry, LJ, for fading the Texans. But when I got that type of price to fade the Texans are still not a great team in my book. And they're one of my lowest rated teams. So I was able to get that price with the Titans. I took minus 102. And I got the under 40.5 in this game. We'll save the Texans fan for last, like we saved the Jets fan for last in the last one. Tim, what's your thoughts on this game?
Texans money line. But I got them back when we did the one show, and they were plus 140 area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would touch them at this point, even though I still think they win this game. Tennessee. Sure, they're 4-2. Good job. They've beaten Indianapolis twice, which they kind of own. They barely beat Vegas, and Carson Wentz decided to hand them the game at the end of the Washington game. I'm not high on Tennessee. I think they're not a good team. I think Houston wins outright. I know it's not as crazy to say considering it's a pick 'em now. I do think Malik Willis is an upgrade, but because I'm not high on Tannehill either. But I still think Houston wins this game. So give me the Texans.
LJ, your thoughts on this one?
Texans money line. I'm all on it. I took the +2 earlier in the week, and I took the money line. I had it at plus 145. So
yeah, I'm not going to fault you guys for getting the plus 145. I just bought the dip.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they're going to digress, man, with Tannehill being out. Consider, I'm not really high on Tannehill as well. It may be an upgrade at the quarterback position, but I'm thinking everybody's going to be keyed in on this Derrick Henry prop because he's had 200 yards rushing on the Texans the last 3 games. And it may be 4, but I just see that the Texans are going to maybe key in on that in certain situations and make that backup quarterback make a play. And considering our pass defense is top 10, I believe, and in opponents' pass completions, we're top 5. So I believe it will come down to us making a play on defense, stopping Tennessee on one drive, because the Texans played very good at home. They're averaging 22 points at home. Tennessee's only averaging 17 on the road. So I believe this is going to come down to pretty much the last 2-3 possessions in the fourth quarter. We just can't turn the ball over. That's the only way we'll be able to stay in this game. Do not turn the ball over, Davis Mills. So I'm going to take his prop over 20.5 pass completions because Tennessee has given up this prop to the quarterback 4 out of the last 5 games. So I'm trusting that he can make some passes, make some first downs, and get our field goal kicker in position to possibly win this game because we do have a good field goal kicker. He can kick 50 field goals. So I'm just going to take Davis Mills' prop. I'm going to stay off the field goal. But Randy Bullock, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets over 1.5 field goals because I think we can keep the Titans out of the end zone. Like I said, Derrick Henry may rush on us because our rush defense is horrible. I do agree with that. But if we can make them get into 2nd and 12, 3rd and 10, things like that to where they can't run, they have to pass for a first down, I think the Texans will be fine. So that's my play. Texas money line, Davis Mills, over 20.5 pass completions.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm kind of looking at here is if I was looking to play a prop in this game, with everybody in love with Derrick Henry this week, give me Malik Willis over 45.5 rushing yards. Because I think he can be – I'm not saying he is this guy. He's going to be a light version of Lamar Jackson potentially, where I think he can rush the ball and he can get 50 yards on the ground here in scramble situations. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with everybody staring down Derrick Henry, which Derrick Henry, if you're looking for his prop, his over-under is 117.5. So they have absolutely juiced that to hell. Yeah. There's no way you can play over 100-something rushing yards in a single game. That's just that. There's a limit to if I were to play props and 100 yards on the ground is definitely something where I would limit myself to not taking anything above it. Huh?
Why not take it under at this point?
They don't actually. The only way I can find the Derrick Henry prop was looking at the rushing props and having to bet at least 118 yards because on the over-unders, They don't have the under available.
Because they know.
Yeah, they know. Yep.
Yeah.
They know.
So I would look only to Malik Willis if I were to play a rushing prop rather than Derrick Henry.
That's a good look because he could scramble for a couple of first downs and get that because the Texans probably would be keyed in on Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, and they're not going to be. Yeah.
I like that. That's a good look.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Tennessee -1.5 is at plus money.
Heyo.
Ew. There you go. All right, we'll go. I love it. I love the sequence because we went from my team to LJ's team to Nick's team. Let's get it.
Yeah. Except for I'm going to be talking because I'm introducing all these games. I'll talk over this one first. Seahawks, Giants. Seahawks are -3, total 44.5 in this game. My line for this one was Giants -1.5. So I have the wrong team as favored in this game. Looking at where the money and the tickets are coming in, 56% of the tickets are on the Giants, 55% of the cash is on the Seahawks, 70% of the tickets and 53% of the cash is on the over. This line's moved from 43 to 44.5. If I'm not mistaken, there is an injury to DK Metcalf, and he is out this game. If I read that right, let me make sure that's correct. He is questionable for this game. And he's expected to play, and Tyler Lockett is also questionable and is considered a game-time decision, though the Seahawks have some optimism that he will play. But we're getting their top two receivers banged up. And we have a Giants team that's exceeded everybody's expectations so far and is finding ways to win football games. And this is why Brian Daboll deserves Coach of the Year. I know Nick Sirianni with the Eagles is up there too. What Daboll has brought this team, what they were expected to do compared to what they've done so far. We all expected the Eagles to be good, but we were not expecting the Giants to be as good as they were. This is the first time since 2008 they've won six out of 7 games to start the year, which we know what happened in 2008. But that's beyond the point. They made the playoffs. They didn't win the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl the year before that. But this is a spot here where I'm looking at the Giants in this game on the money line at plus 140, plus 145. I just have the wrong team favored, so I'm looking to take the team that I have favored as a dog. So I'm taking the Giants here in this game. LJ, what's your look on this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants too, man. Plus the 3, because they're a great second half team, 6-1, man. They've scored 44 points in the second half of the last 3 games. And Seattle's a great first half team. They're 6-1. So totally different contrasts at different halves. But you mentioned that both of his receivers potentially could be out this game. Yeah. And a lot of people know that Geno Smith leads the league in pass completion percentage at 73.5. So without his 2 best receivers, I don't know how effective he's going to be, considering the Giants have a good pass rush to get after him. They are averaging 22 points a game. So if he don't have his 2 receivers, man, that could come down to maybe 17 or 18 points. They may be missing a touchdown, So I'm going to trust the trend because Seattle is bottom 5, 8 out of 13 offensive categories, which is horrible to me. So considering the numbers their way, the Giants, like I just said, 6-1 in the second half. They do make adjustments at halftime. I'm going to trust that trend. And I'm going to jump on the Giants plus 3. And I may get to the window on the money line, considering how I'm looking the first half of these games. But I've already locked in Giants plus 3.
And this sounds like another opportunity, the way you described the Seahawks in the first half and the way the Giants are able to make adjustments in the second half. This could be a Giants live at halftime spot, similar to the Steelers and similar to the Cardinals, where we can look to play these teams in the second half live at halftime. So look at the Giants. You may be able to get 6.5 with them at halftime compared to 3 here pregame. So that's another thought process with when you have these teams that are good in the first half, but teams that can adjust and show up in the second half. Definitely good live looks for a few of these games. And I think the Giants are definitely a team to do that. Tim, what's your thoughts on this game?
We're on the Giants. It's one of our circus. They played well, and just the banged up receiving core for Seattle is going to be a problem for them. Geno Smith's not the best quarterback in the world. Shocker. And if he's going to have some banged up wide receivers, it's going to be very tricky for him to be able to maneuver. Did anybody have these two teams being over 500 by this point of the year? If you did, where's your time machine? Because I would love to know how you would have figured that one out. These two teams have definitely overachieved. I didn't think Seattle was going to be all that good this year. I figured they would be a team that would cover spreads for you. So at least I was right about that. And then the Giants, I did not expect to be good at all. And somehow they're still good with Daniel Jones as their quarterback. So definitely interesting there. I'm on the Giants today. I think getting them at plus money, it could be a trap. Seeing a 6-1 team at plus money, but go ahead, give me the Giants.
Yeah, and a couple more things for the Giants this week, though. They did trade Kadarius Toney, and Kenny Golladay is going to be out for this game, so they're going to be missing from this season 4 receptions and 22 receiving yards. So that's really rough that they're missing those.
Yeesh.
Yeah, no, but I joke because those guys have had absolutely no impact, and neither of them are going to be on the field. So I'm fine with that. I just want to make the joke because we were mentioning that Metcalf and Lockett are going to be questionable. I was just mentioning that the 2 useless receivers are out for the Giants, which they have yet to have a receiver get 200 receiving yards this year. And they're 6-1.
We got 3 games left.
All right, and Sam Ehlinger we trust. We have the Indianapolis Colts. They're 3-point home favorites, total 39.5 again in this game against the Washington Commanders in this one. My personal line for this game was Indianapolis -6, and I adjusted this line for Sam Ehlinger because originally I had the Colts at -6 because I don't think there's much of a downgrade from them to Matt Ryan, or from Matt Ryan to Sam Ehlinger because Matt Ryan's been that putrid this year. Let's take a look where the money is coming on this one. 58% of the tickets and 70% of the cash is coming in on the Commanders. No surprise, this line's dropped from 6 to 3. Also, that probably has a little bit to do with them announcing Sam Ehlinger as the starting quarterback. 56% of the tickets are on the over, 55% of the cash is on the under. The line's dropped 3 points. Once again, it's tricky because the Colts made the quarterback change. For me, this is pretty plain and simple. I took the Colts because I still think this team is about the same with Sam Ehlinger. If not, maybe a little bit better. With not having to worry about Matt Ryan being a little bit of a statue there. Because I think Sam Ehlinger, we saw this a little bit in Texas. He's a much more mobile quarterback than Matt Ryan is. So maybe he might be able to scramble out of some of those situations that Matt Ryan was just a stone statue, basically, in the backfield. So I think that this could be a potential upgrade for the Colts with Ehlinger. So I'm taking the Colts laying the 3 points. LJ, what's your thoughts on this game? Division rival with the Colts here.
Both these teams score under 20 points a game, so I don't expect much. I expect a lot of punts in this game, to be honest with you, considering Washington leads the league in punts at 6 a game. So I don't see anything changing in that. But I have a sneaky prop in this game. Sam Ehlinger is the starting quarterback. So what more familiarity would he have than his receiver that he's had reps with in practice and he's familiar with? Paris Campbell, over 33.5 receiving yards. I mean, I think that's pretty low, and I think he will be able to get that because, like I said, he's familiar with that receiver. He's take all the reps with him in practice, so why not throw him in the game, give him some comfortability? You know, he can get some, get some first downs and things like that. I'm thinking that that's a great prop to take on the first week with Sam Ehlinger being comfortable in that situation because I see him handing the ball off. Is Jonathan Taylor in this game? I'm not for sure. Is he playing?
Let me look that up real quick because I believe he is.
Yeah, if he's playing,
maybe look at his receiving props for.
That's what I was going to say. Take his rush and receiving prop as well because I see a lot of Deacon and Duncan.
Yeah,
I don't think
he doesn't have a tag on him, so he's good. Good to go.
I think Sam Ehlinger is going to Deacon dunk. They're going to play a safe game for him. They don't want to put him in harm's way. And this is a home game. So we already know home teams play well, especially defenses. So I don't see Washington coming into this game and making a statement on the road against a tough Colts defense. So I'm going to stay off the side because, like I said, both these teams score under 20 points a game. But Paris Campbell over 33.5 receiving yards, I think is a good look for the familiarity of Sam Ehlinger.
Look, yeah. Tim, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, we got the Colts. I think it's a good spot for him. New quarterback. And what better team to go up against with a new quarterback than the Commanders, who are awful. This one's got underwritten all over it as well, just because the Commanders suck and Colts struggle offensively. Is it a game that I'm going to go after a total? No, I like the Colts. I think a lot of people are going to overreact over a new quarterback. I'm just going to ride with it. This one went from, I believe, 6-3. So I'm going to grab the Colts with it.
Yeah.
Markel is starting. I'm going to look at some Saquon rushing props.
I don't mind that at all because, I mean, if you want to look at rushing props, I think this can be very similar to what we described with the Tennessee Titans. I would look towards Daniel Jones before I would look towards Saquon Barkley because Saquon Barkley's
Daniel
rushing
Jones
props
got wheels
a little bit. And Daniel Jones he's got some wheels for a white boy. He's pretty good.
CA Raiders.
Yes, I'm on the Raiders.
Got the under. Yeah, I could see the under. 100%. 2 games left, Nick.
Yeah, this one I've got an interesting thought on here. We have the 49ers. They're at the Rams in this one. The Niners are -1 in this game with a total of 42. Taking a look at what my line is one. I have the Rams as a 2-point favorite in this game. I think the Rams, and I have them about even, and that's the home field advantage here. 62% of the tickets and 70% of the cash is on the Rams, or on the Niners, my bad. 64% of the tickets, 53% of the cash is on the over. This line's gone up 2 points. And first of all, divisional under. I'm on the under 4. I got it at 41.5. I'm going to continue to ride those. And I am on the Rams money line in this game. And yes, we've heard the narrative all week long. The Niners own the Rams. Shanahan owns McVay. We're getting, granted, it's a 1-point dog. We're getting a home divisional dog in this matchup here for me. And I think the wrong team is favored. And I think people may be overreacting a little bit to the CMC news with him being on the Niners now. We saw that last week. Now Tim and I liked the Niners before the CMC trade last week, so we were kind of frustrated. I felt like that kind of killed it. But this is a spot for me where I think the Niners may be a little bit of an overrated commodity now in the markets when it comes to them as on the betting lines. So I think there's a little bit of value here with the LA Rams. I got them, I think, at around -103 on the money line. So I'm going with the Rams here in this spot. Tim, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, divisional under. That's all I really got to in this one. This one's a pick 'em. I don't really see much value in a side in this one. Sure, you can go with the divisional home dog, but in some places the Rams are actually favored. So it's a flip flop. It's a pick 'em. So no real value for me in this one. I'm just gonna stay away from it.
Sure. LJ, you got anything in this game?
Yeah, division under 42 is what I got. Garoppolo is 7-0 versus the Rams, and you just mentioned Shanahan owns them. But how long is Sean McVay going to allow their streak to continue? They're coming off a bye. The 49ers are going into a bye. So McVay may have something up his sleeve today because these are competitive coaches. They don't like each other. We know this for sure. So he's going to have to end this streak at some point. And it may be today. But I'm not going to pick today. I'm not going to trust it. I got to see it for myself. But the under is 17-5 in the Rams home game since they've been in SoFi. So that's a trend that we have to stay on. This is a divisional game, so both of those correlate. So why not stay on the trend? I'm taking the under 42.
I like it.
Right on. Damn, I'm nervous on that too. You took the Niners money line.
That's fair. I understand why people are backing San Fran in this game.
Yeah. Rick, it's on the Vikings, Falcons, Dolphins, and Niners.
Ooh. Dolphins -5.5. That's a 3.5.
Probably an alternative spread. I've seen somewhere on something on Twitter fade the buys.
Fade before or after the buys?
Yes.
Well, both these teams are one's going into a bye, one's coming out of a bye. So are you fading them
It's
before the
probably coming
bye
out of the bye.
or after the bye?
Coming out of the bye. Anyways, Nick, we'll go to this game.
Sunday night football. The Buffalo Bills are hosting the Green Bay Packers in this game. Minus 10.5 for the Bills, total 47 in this game. My line for this game personally was around a 9.5. So I see a little bit of value with the Packers here in this game. We're seeing 72% of the tickets and 75% of the cash coming in on the Bills. What potentially can go wrong there? 71% of the tickets and 55% of the cash is on the over. And this line opened up at 47.5, and it's dropped down to 47. So money coming in on the over. The line's dropped half a point towards the under. We have the primetime unders. I'm under 47 in this game. That's self-explanatory here. And looking at this spot for the Packers, this is probably not a popular opinion, but I think this is a buy low spot for Green Bay. When we look at what these two teams, when we look at what Green Bay has done the last 4 weeks, they haven't covered in 4 straight weeks. The thing is, though, last week they were a 4-point favorite. The week before that, they were a 7.5-point favorite. The week before that, they were 8.5-point favorite. The week before that, they were a 10-point favorite. They've been favorites 4 straight weeks where they didn't cover. Now not only are they underdogs, we're getting double digits with the Packers in this one here. So I took 10.5 with Green Bay, and I put a half a unit at the plus 395 money line. Because this could be one of those games where at the end of the day, everybody's parlays are reliant on the Bills money line. And how many times have we seen a primetime game kill parlays? So not saying the Packers win this game outright, but they can win this game outright. So I'm looking at the Packers here, taking the points, sprinkling the money line. I'm on the under 47 as well for the primetime unders. LJ, what's your thoughts on this game?
Hey, man, good luck with that one. I'm staying away. I'm not taking the side because minus 10.5, that's a lot of points. And we've seen mediocre teams come back and cover that spread. Steelers did it against Tampa Bay. Carolina did it last week against Tampa Bay. So we've seen this happen. And I would not be surprised if Green Bay shows us something today. Like you just said, everybody's money's on the Bills. They're thinking Aaron Rodgers is done. They've seen how he's done with these receivers and things like that. This could be the day that everything changes. But I think it won't be him. The defense may step up and cause some turnovers on Buffalo in crucial situations to where they may squeak out and cover this spread. And potentially, like you say, win outright. It could be a pick six. It could be a fumble return for a touchdown. Who knows what could happen? But I'm going to stay off, but I'm going to take a prop. I'm going to take Stephon Diggs over 81.5 receiving yards because he's second in the league in receiving yards, averaging 109 yards a game. Buffalo is number 1 in pass defense. So like I just said, I don't see Aaron Rodgers going down the field on his defense like that. I don't think he's hit 260 yards, I believe, one game this year so far, if I'm not mistaken. So I see a lot of run. I think Aaron Jones is going to be very effective. I think he's going to – you may want to take his prop too, rushing and receiving. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to take it.
I can find his rushing yards real quick.
Yeah, I can see a lot of Aaron Jones today and getting them in third and shorts and Aaron Rodgers, making a couple passes, things like that to keep the game close. I don't see a high-scoring game. I would lean toward the under as well, 47. But I think Buffalo squeaks it out because they are at home. I think they are the best team as far as in the AFC, in my opinion, because they just beat the Chiefs, recently. So I think that catapults them as the number 1 team in the AFC. But like I said, man, 10.5, it's a lot of points, man. And we've seen tricky shit happen. So I'm staying off the side.
You can get Aaron Jones over 46.5 rushing yards. You can get A.J. Dillon over 25.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, those may be good looks. Yeah.
I think you can take both, and one, if not both, will hit.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm going to be on the exact opposite side of Nick. I think that this game could easily be shown on that orange and black site after it's done. Remember that Tennessee-Buffalo game? From like week 2. Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to that. I've been hearing the buy low Green Bay segment for about 4 weeks now. Oh, they barely won in overtime versus New England. Buy low spot against the Giants. Oh, they just lost in London to the Giants. Buy low spot at home against the Jets. Oh, they've lost 3 in a row and lost to both New York teams. This is a good buy low spot. Take them against the Washington Commanders. Yeah. No.
They were favorites in all those games, though. There's a difference.
They can we not? Green Bay sucks. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are both taking humongous steps back, and probably going to be the end of the era for both of them. Green Bay is probably not making the playoffs. I'm going to say now, Green Bay's not making the playoffs. And after this game, when it is 35-7, and we look back at it and be like, wow, Green Bay really sucks. They got lucky to get that touchdown with 33 seconds left when the Bills didn't care. No, this is going to be a blowout. You'll get your primetime under. I just don't see the Green Bay Packers doing anything in this game.
Fair. I disagree, but fair.
There you go. Sorry, clicked on one. I'm a Packers fan, and the outlook for this game does not look good for us. Lazard most likely won't play as well. Leaves Rodgers with nobody he trusts us to throw to.
Good point.
I'm pretty sure if I throw on a Green Bay Packers jersey, I could sign up to be a wide receiver for the Packers. Maybe. Any of you on the Jets? I'm always on the Jets, but I really think it's a good spot for him today. Nick is rolling with Vegas. They don't get so big by losing all the money, and all the money is on the Bills. That's fair. At the same time, I don't think Vegas can be wrong. We've seen it plenty of times.
There's going to be some fluky shit where they backdoor cover in this game.
Yeah.
Stefan, let's cash it. You get it. When is NBA? We're not doing NBA today. It's in the scroller. My card, when you look at it, hopefully you guys say ew, because that's exactly what I want to hear. My 14 parlay. Best way to go 3-1 is to put them in a 14 parlay. Dolphins, loser off the bat. Cool. Saints, didn't bet that game. I think that game's a garbage game.
I'm on the Raiders.
Texans, yes. Rams, yes. So it looks like a nice 2-2 parlay. Maybe 3-1. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Untouchable. All right, that is all of the games for today. We made it through. Good work. Good work. The only game we're not talking about today is obviously the Monday night game because that's tomorrow. But we're going to go ahead. We got to pay some bills before we head on out of here. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Appreciate all the support. Check out all links in the description below. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Facebook, Picks and Parleys, Premium Plays, merch, TikTok, ESP Shorts, and the EarleSportsBets.com website. All linked down below. ESP is sponsored by DraftKings. Go ahead, use the link in the description below or download DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet $5 on any NFL team, and you'll receive $200 in free bets. Go ahead and sign up using the link in the description below. And then make sure you guys check out SeatGeek for all your concert tickets and sporting event ticket needs. ESP at checkout, $20 off your first purchase over there. And then make sure you guys check out LJ. Where can we find you?
They can find me at Twitter at LJ Sports Media. Hit me up, very transparent. You got any questions, concerns, likes, hit me up. I'll give my suggestion. I'll give my plays out pretty much every day. This is what I'm betting every single day. So I'm going to give out what I play. And you also can find me at PSR, Pub Sports Radio, throughout the week. I'm with Jimmy. I'm with Dutch. We do live streams, bettings, and things like that for Monday night, Thursday night football, things like that. We may be starting up some NBA live streams as well. Ooh. So catch me on Pub Sports Radio throughout the week.
There you go. There you go. Make sure you check them out, everybody. Very important. Top 5 circuit plays today. One of our circuit plays was already Tampa Bay.
No, he's asking the top 5 picked.
Oh, sorry. Yes. What are the top 5 picks for this week, Nick?
Number 5 is the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5 tomorrow night. Number 4 is the Arizona Cardinals. Number 3 is the Las Vegas Raiders. Number 2 is the Tennessee Titans. Number 1 is the New England Patriots.
Wow, the number 1's going to go down this week. That's cool. Go Bengals tomorrow. Nope. I didn't see the Tim play of the day in the scroller. Shoot, I didn't do a hockey one. Crap.
Shame.
It's only 5. You know what? Screw it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not doing a hockey play today. I'm not doing a hockey play. Nope. Oh, Coyotes play today. That's it. No. Anyways, Recap for today. We kind of already went over all the NFL stuff. I'll quickly tag on my NBA. Early game, Pelicans and Clippers. I took the under. Because that's gonna be a noon game in LA. Whenever there's an early game, I always love to take the unders. Kind of like primetime unders, but it's early game unders. That's kind of how I roll with the NBA. Took some nice doggies today with the Pistons and the Wizards. Took them plus the points and the money line. Both of those are $3 plus. And then I also took the over in Minnesota and the Spurs. We've seen these two teams play twice already. I believe both of them went over that total. And then I took Denver minus the 3.5 because the Lakers are trash. That is the simple fact. I'm going to be. I did not fade the Lakers the first night of the year because I faded the banner raising for the Warriors. Did not work. I faded them 4 games since. And I just want to point this out there. With the Kings getting a win yesterday, the only winless team in the NBA has LeBron James on it. MJ's better. Anyway, Denver Nuggets minus 3.5. Let's roll. Nick?
Yeah, we went over all the NFL stuff. I did do 2 NBA plays. I have the under in the Boston game. I don't think that's playable now because I got 225 with it last night, and it's now down to a 221 and a half. So that line's dropped a lot. But I do have the under in the Boston game. And then I have the over in the – I'm trying to remember which game it was. Over in the Houston and Phoenix game at 228 for that one. And then in the NHL, I am on for the early game, the New Jersey Devils minus 1.5 at plus 120. I'm on the Chicago Blackhawks team total over 2.5. I'm going to ride that wagon. That's hit 5 straight games. And I'm on the full game over 6.5 in that one as well. And I'm also on the Vegas Golden Knights puck line later in the day at plus 130 with a lean towards Coyotes as well against the Rangers.
There you go. LJ, anything else before we head on out for today?
Nah, man. I put all my plays up. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Thank y'all for having me, and hopefully we can do this again. I love it.
Absolutely.
100%. Love to get a guests and stuff on the show to give alternate perspectives. So 100% we'll have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, go ahead. Finish it on out for today.
Yeah, but that's going to just about wrap it up for this one. We want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already, and turn on those post notifications so you're notified whenever we go live here at ESB, which is every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Earle Sports Bet Show. That's going to just about do it for this one. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here, as always, by my brother, Tim. We were joined by Houston's finest, LJ from H-Town today. Thank you, guys. Good luck.
And this is the best way to close out a stream.